Imagine a land where ancient rivers flow not just through the earth, but through the very soul of its people, a place where every sunrise awakens a spirit unyielding, every story carries the weight of thousands of years, and every heart beats with a timeless rhythm of resilience and hope. This is India. More than a country, it is a living spirit that has faced storms, embraced change, and emerged stronger each time. Today, I invite you on a journey to discover why this incredible nation is unlike any other, the one the West can never defeat. Stay with me and feel the power of India's soul. India is not merely a nation defined by modern borders, it is one of the world's oldest and most continuous civilizations. With a history that stretches back over 5000 years, India has witnessed the rise and fall of empires, the spread of religions, the development of languages, and the evolution of complex societies long before many parts of the world saw organized states. The Indus Valley Civilization, which flourished around 2500 BCE, showcased remarkable urban planning, drainage systems, and trade networks. Following that, the Vedic Age laid the philosophical and spiritual foundation for Hinduism, one of the oldest living religions. India was also the birthplace of Buddhism and Jainism, philosophies that spread across Asia and shaped spiritual traditions across continents. Unlike many other ancient civilizations that faded away with time, India's cultural and intellectual lineage has remained largely unbroken. Dynasties came and went, from the Mauryas to the Guptas to the Cholas and Mughals, but the civilizational core adapted, evolved, and continued. Every invader who came to India left their mark, but none were able to erase its essential identity. Instead, they became part of the Indian story. This civilizational depth also means India has developed a vast reservoir of knowledge, including literature, mathematics, astronomy, medicine, and governance. Sanskrit texts explored atomic theory and the nature of consciousness long before modern science. Indian mathematicians introduced the concept of zero and advanced geometry centuries ahead of Europe. India's identity is not built on conquest or colonization. It's built on resilience, memory, and the power to transform without losing its essence. Its traditions are not museum pieces. They are living, breathing systems that continue to influence how people think, worship, govern, and relate to the universe. India's experience under colonial rule, particularly the British Empire, is often seen as one of economic exploitation and political subjugation. Yet, despite nearly 200 years of foreign domination, the country never lost its cultural core. This resilience is a defining trait of India's identity, its ability to absorb, adapt, and transform without surrendering its essence. When the British arrived, they brought with them a different language, system of governance, religion, and education. Their goal was not only to rule, but to reshape the Indian mind to create a cultural dependence on the West. English replaced Persian as the language of administration, Western-style schools were established, and Indian traditions were often labeled as backward or primitive. But India's cultural foundation proved too deep and too diverse to be uprooted. Even as English education spread, Indians began using it as a tool for resistance. Leaders like Swami Vivekananda, Rabindranath Tagore, and Mahatma Gandhi drew from ancient Indian philosophies while speaking to the world in a language the colonizers introduced. Indian identity wasn't erased, it was reasserted with more clarity. Religions such as Hinduism, Islam, Sikhism, and Jainism continued to thrive. Classical music, dance, and art remained active and influential. The family structure, festivals, cuisine, clothing, and countless other cultural markers were preserved and passed down, often in defiance of colonial expectations. Rather than cultural erasure, what occurred was cultural fusion, where India adopted useful elements of the West without allowing them to dominate the narrative. The country emerged from colonization not as a shadow of the British Empire, but as a reinvigorated civilization that had held on to its spiritual and cultural sovereignty. This immunity to cultural colonization is rare in world history, and a key reason India remains uniquely resilient. One of India's greatest strengths lies in its ability to chart its own course in the complex world of international relations. From the early years after gaining independence, India refused to be pulled into the power struggles of the Cold War or any other global conflict dictated by major powers. Instead, it adopted a policy of non-alignment, choosing to maintain its sovereignty and freedom of decision rather than aligning fully with either the Western Bloc or the Soviet Union. This strategic autonomy is rooted in a deep understanding of India's unique geopolitical position and its diverse internal dynamics. India is a vast, multicultural democracy with its own priorities, challenges, and aspirations. Its leaders have consistently sought to balance relations with global powers while protecting national interests and regional stability. India's foreign policy reflects a blend of pragmatism and principle. It has worked to build strong ties with countries across continents, engaging with the United States, Russia, China, and neighbors alike, while refusing to become dependent on any single power. This approach has allowed India to negotiate from a position of strength and maintain its independence in critical matters such as defense, trade, and technology. India's strategic autonomy also extends to its military capabilities and defense posture. The country has developed its own nuclear deterrent and space program, emphasizing self-reliance and indigenous innovation. India's approach is not one of aggression, but of careful calculation, ensuring it is prepared to defend its interests without unnecessarily provoking conflict. By maintaining this independent stance, India protects itself from external manipulation and ensures that its growth and security are driven by its own goals. This ability to stand apart from global pressures has made India a respected player on the world stage and a country the West cannot easily control or defeat. India's demographic profile is one of its most significant assets on the global stage. With over 1.4 billion people, it is the second most populous country in the world and expected to become the most populous in the near future. But it's not just the size of the population that matters, it's the composition. India has the largest youth population on Earth, with millions of young people entering the workforce every year. This demographic dividend offers immense potential for economic growth, innovation, and social transformation. A young population means a dynamic labor force, eager to learn, adapt, and contribute to new industries, technologies, and ideas. Unlike aging populations in many Western countries, India's youth bring vitality, creativity, and an appetite for change that can power the country forward. The demographic advantage also provides India with a growing market for goods and services. Companies from around the world recognize this opportunity, but India is determined to develop its own industries and technologies, harnessing the energy and talents of its people. From startups to large corporations, this young workforce drives entrepreneurship and innovation. However, this advantage comes with responsibility. India must create enough jobs, improve education and healthcare, and ensure opportunities reach all regions and communities. The challenge is immense, but the potential rewards are even greater. In contrast to many Western nations struggling with shrinking workforces and rising social costs, India's youth population is a source of strength and resilience. This demographic power gives India the human capital to defend its sovereignty, fuel its economy, and maintain its strategic independence. This ongoing growth of its population and workforce ensures that India is not only a country of the present, but also a country of the future, ready to meet challenges and seize opportunities on its own terms. India's economy tells a story of resilience and transformation. Despite facing centuries of colonial exploitation, India has grown from an agrarian economy to one of the world's largest and fastest growing economies today. The journey has been neither easy nor smooth, marked by challenges like poverty, political upheaval, and global economic crises. Yet India's economic resilience shines through every obstacle. During colonial times, India's wealth was systematically drained, its industries suppressed to favor British manufacturing. After independence, the country faced the enormous task of rebuilding its economy while addressing widespread poverty and illiteracy. Early policies focused on self-sufficiency and state-led growth, laying the foundation for industrialization and infrastructure development. Since the economic liberalization of the 1990s, India has opened its markets to global trade and investment, sparking rapid growth and innovation. The country has become a hub for technology, pharmaceuticals, manufacturing, and services, attracting investments from around the world. India's ability to adapt to changing global economic conditions has allowed it to maintain steady growth, even during worldwide recessions. The resilience of the Indian economy is also rooted in its diversity. Agriculture, industry, and services all play vital roles, and millions of small businesses and entrepreneurs drive local economies. This diverse base creates a buffer against shocks and builds strength from the ground up. India's demographic advantage also fuels economic potential, providing a vast workforce that supports both traditional sectors and emerging industries. Furthermore, the government's focus on digital infrastructure and innovation has accelerated economic inclusion and productivity. Despite setbacks like the global pandemic, India continues to rebound with strength. Its economic resilience lies in its ability to innovate, adapt, and grow, powered by the determination and ingenuity of its people. India's influence on the world extends far beyond its political and economic clout. Its soft power, the ability to attract and inspire through culture, values, and ideas, is a crucial part of why India remains undefeated in spirit and stature. Unlike military power, soft power builds connections through respect, admiration, and shared human experience. At the heart of India's soft power is its rich spiritual heritage. Practices like yoga and meditation have transcended borders to become global phenomena, embraced by millions seeking peace and well-being. These ancient traditions offer a message of self-awareness, balance, and resilience that resonates universally, regardless of nationality or creed. India's cultural exports go beyond spirituality. Bollywood films captivate audiences worldwide with stories that blend drama, music, and vibrant colors. Indian cuisine, festivals, art, and literature attract admiration and curiosity, creating cultural bridges that link people across continents. This global cultural presence helps India project an image of warmth, creativity, and depth. Indian thinkers and leaders have also shaped global conversations on peace, justice, and human rights. Figures like Mahatma Gandhi inspired nonviolent resistance movements across the world. India's democratic values, rooted in its diverse society, demonstrate how unity can coexist with pluralism and debate. Technology and innovation have become new avenues for India's soft power. Its booming IT sector and growing startup ecosystem highlight creativity and problem-solving on a massive scale, making India a hub of ideas and solutions. Through these cultural, spiritual, and intellectual contributions, India engages the world on its own terms. This kind of influence cannot be measured by armies or weapons, but by the ability to inspire, connect, and endure. It creates a lasting bond that no external force can easily break or defeat. India's rise as a global power is deeply connected to its advancements in technology and defense. Over the past few decades, the country has made significant strides in building its own scientific and military capabilities, reducing dependence on foreign powers, and asserting its sovereignty on the world stage. India's space program is a shining example of this progress. From launching satellites for communication and weather forecasting to sending missions to the Moon and Mars, India has demonstrated remarkable innovation and cost-effective achievements in space technology. These accomplishments not only enhance India's strategic capabilities, but also boost national pride and global respect. On the defense front, India has developed a robust military with modern equipment, including an independent nuclear arsenal that acts as a strong deterrent against threats. Indigenous production of advanced fighter jets, missile systems, and naval vessels reflects a growing emphasis on self-reliance and technological sophistication. The government's push for Make in India In defense, manufacturing encourages domestic innovation and reduces reliance on imports. Cybersecurity and intelligence capabilities are also areas where India is investing heavily, understanding that modern warfare extends beyond physical borders into digital domains. Strengthening cyber defenses and technological infrastructure protects the country against emerging threats and secures critical national interests. India's growing tech industry complements its defense progress. The country has become a global leader in information technology and software development, fueling innovation and economic growth. This technological ecosystem supports not only civilian industries, but also enhances military communications and data analysis. Together, India's advancements in technology and defense create a powerful combination of strength, innovation, and independence. This progress ensures that India is not vulnerable to external pressures and can confidently protect its interests while contributing to global technological development. In every sense, India stands tall, rooted in ancient wisdom, enriched by diverse cultures, and powered by its resilient people. Its strength lies not just in armies or economies, but in an unbreakable spirit that adapts, innovates, and leads with conviction. This is why no external force can defeat India. It is a nation defined by unity, independence, and relentless progress. As we honor this great country, let us carry forward its legacy with pride and purpose. Thank you all for listening, and good luck on your journey to understanding the true strength of India. Jai Hind.